Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of February 22nd through the 28th. And during that time, we'll have a waxing crescent moon that we bring in from last week. And that is a time of heightened senses and a good time to just focus and work on those things that we've started during the new moon. We then have the first quarter moon that comes in on the 24th or the 25th, depending on where you are. And first quarter is kind of like a little mini full moon, that same energy where you might feel impulsive, impatient, your mind's a little bit active. It's kind of hard to get things done. So keep that in mind and breathe through that, because then we move into the waxing gibbous energy. And of course, that's much calmer, and that's for the rest of the week. And that is a really good time for a deeper understanding and outlook, and a good time for us to demonstrate that we can be flexible and make adjustments where needed. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Aquarius. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is to meditate and contemplate. All right, that sounds like a nice week for Aquarius. If you can take the time to do that, especially getting through that first quarter energy, of course. Breathe through that, meditate, contemplate, try to not be impulsive if you're very sensitive to that moon energy like I am. And as I'm shuffling Aquarius, my fun weekly reminder for you is that you notice the world around you when it comes to synchronicities this week. So, this could be, let's say you encounter an animal that you don't see every day, and think about the attributes of that animal, or look them up if you're not sure what they are, and apply those attributes to a situation that's going on in your life. Usually each of us has something going on that, but think about those attributes, and how to apply those to your current situation. So that's one way. You might see repeating numbers or number patterns, and that's a good way to look up angel numbers. If you're seeing like a recurring number, see what those numbers mean. And again, that's another little message. But things like that, overheard conversations or songs or just little signs and symbols, things that we see that make us think. That's the universe is offering little breadcrumbs for you on your unique path. So make sure that you're aware of that language this extra, maybe a little bit extra this week, and pay attention to those synchronicities. So all right, Aquarius, let's get into this reading. February 22nd through the 28th. You are being instructed by your overall to meditate and contemplate. Your overall present energy right now is the Knight of Swords. And, this is one of the most excitable cards in the deck. This is information coming in quick. These are thoughts coming in very quickly. So, yeah, can you breathe through that? Can you meditate through that? Can you not jump on that horse and go and just let your mouth go and your mind go? So maybe it is time to calm down. Maybe you're very excited about something right now that's going on that you just need to calm down a little bit about. Your current situation is the Five of Cups. So yeah, you could be dealing with some sort of grief, and maybe you're trying to mask it by words or thoughts, or just being really, really active. And maybe it is time just to kind of work through whatever the sadness is here with the Five of Cups. Um, Sometimes we push those feelings away because of course they're no fun to face and feel and deal with. But I promise you, once you feel and deal with things like that, just kind of feel it, and then you can let it go. And then we're not dealing with it week after week. It's just something that you kind of have to just do. Meditate, think about, contemplate. Even if you sometimes write it out, if you have feelings that you just need to say to paper, sometimes just put pen to paper, write out your feelings, kind of diary like, and let those feelings out, because it is very helpful, again, so that you're not revisiting it week after week after week, right? Or month after month. All right, let's see here. At the root of your situation is some sort of creative collaboration here that's been going on, that maybe it didn't work out like you wanted it to. There was some collaboration that this could be work related or money related, or something with the material tangible world. It could be a roommate situation that didn't work out. This could be a relationship that maybe didn't work out, and you're entangled financially with some coin and whatever. So whatever it is, that's kind of the root of it, and you're disappointed about it. But you just do need to take time to process that a little bit. What is in your recent past is that you have been kind of venturing out into your future. You've been venturing out to explore things and try things. And maybe some of the stuff is residual things from your past, but you're coming into this kind of in an exploratory mode that you're like trying to figure it out, and that's okay. Listen, none of us have it figured out. So, I'm of an age where you think I would. I still don't. We're all kind of winging it. So that's okay. Keep working on, and it is just keep an open mind and keep exploring, until at some point you kind of find your groove and you're like, oh, this is kind of where I'm supposed to be. So I kind of get that feeling that you're still kind of moving into that for yourself, which is fine. We all are. What's on your mind this week is the strength card. So you're definitely strong enough to do, what is the saying, that the universe doesn't give you anything that you're not strong enough to handle. So you're strong enough, and that's on your mind, and you know that. I think that's an inner feeling that you have inner strength to handle whatever it is that's being tossed your way. All right, what is just ahead of you this week is a little bit of financial stability, or at least thinking about it and meditating on it and maybe planning it. It's in your, it's coming into the later end of your week here, but it's something that you just might be thinking about. And this could have to do with just material stability. It doesn't have to be really about money, but it could just be stability. Like, is your house clean? Is your bed made? Is your room clean? Is your laundry done? Are the groceries done? Are you stocked up and ready for the next week? That kind of thing. Just having all of your material ducks in a row. So that's something that will be ahead of you this week, and that's fine. That's a way of, doing those things can be a way of meditation and contemplation. I know I do that when I clean house. Put on some music, get the house clean, deep clean things. That's kind of a meditation for me. I actually enjoy doing it. In your advice position is the 9 of Wands, which means, take some time to reflect back on what happened. Whatever this thing that you're a little sad about, a little bit of grief going on, go ahead and take that time. That's definitely in your advice thing is, and that's that contemplation. What happened? What did I just go through? What is that? And most importantly, when you're asking yourself that, it's what have I learned through that? Or what am I supposed to learn? What are these little lessons that are coming through as I'm learning things there? What is beyond your control this week is the Knight of Wands. So a little touch of something that you get to throw into your week that it is something that does make you excited. And maybe it's because you learned something here. We're reflecting back on something, but this is kind of action too. This is action in something that you're passionate about, and maybe it is just meditation. Maybe you're learning a new way to meditate. Maybe it's kind of there's some kind of spark there for you. I mean, it could be anything, but it's something that does kind of lift your spirits a little bit and take your mind off of all of this for a little bit. But it could be a form of meditation. Like if you let's say you like to knit, and that's something you're very passionate about, and it's something that, once your hands are busy and doing it, you're not thinking about this other stuff, or you are. It could be like a time where you do kind of meditate as you're doing a physical activity. All right, let's see, what is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? 3 of Cups. So is your secret desire to be a little bit social this week, or are you just trying to avoid it? That'll, different Aquarians will answer this differently, and whichever works for you. There's no right answer to this question here. If you feel like social, get with some friends and go have a good time. If you're feeling a little antisocial, then don't. Just stay in, do your knitting, and do your contemplating, and have a quiet week. That's okay too sometimes. And your outcome position is the 2 of Swords. So, you know, this is a card that says no decision about things until you think it through. And what is that decision? It could be different for different people, but you're going to be, you are thinking it through. So maybe there is some decision that's hinging upon something here, and you just have to take the time to think it through before you really make a decision. And I'm not even sure if you get there by the end of this week. This may go into the next week or the week after, that you have some decision to make and you are just really contemplating things a little bit. What is hidden from you this week, Aquarius? Would be the 7 of Wands here. So this is feeling like you against the world. And that's not a feeling that you're having this week. Maybe you just, again, this is kind of a solitary thing that you are battling. I don't think you're battling it against other people. It's just kind of a thing that you're learning on your own. But again, put pen to paper when you're making decisions, when you're contemplating or looking back. And what is it that you're learning? What is it that you've just gone through that was maybe a little bit disappointing? And what did you learn that you can carry into the future and and make use of in your future. All right, let's get a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Aquarius. Final message for Aquarius. Strengthen your gifts. So, that's probably here with this passion card. What are the things that that you're really good at, and the things that kind of keep you going in life? And if that's, find what those things are and get stronger with those things, because those are the things that are going to ultimately make you happy. Let's get a card here to see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Aquarius this week. Self-care, 22nd through the 28th for Aquarius. Okay, there we go. And the card that you get this week is the card called Time. Time spent worrying is time spent. Interesting, huh? Interesting. I mean, I do think you do need to contemplate and learn from it. But again, if you can deal with that now, if you can deal with that this week and kind of take that time to meditate and contemplate and put pen to paper, like I said, and get to a closer to a decision point, then it's the less time you're going to have to do it next week or the week after, or that this thing will keep coming back over and over. You just need to really learn how to heal it and get healed from it. So, Aquarius, thank you so much for being here. I hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know. If you have any questions about this reading, or if this is something that's really resonating with you, let us know why. You might be able to compare notes with the other Aquarians. So also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you next week. So thanks so much, Aquarius, for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.